is Senator John Fetterman presiding over the U.S. Senate in shorts. The Pennsylvania senator can now officially enter the Senate and preside over hearings in his signature shorts and hoodie, after Senate Democrats passed a rule relaxing the dress code, with suits and ties no longer required for senators.
John Fetterman, this is a suit. This is a suit too. Obviously, you can't figure out how to buy one of these. All you can figure out how to do is literally go to the Senate looking like a slob, looking like a complete fool, and a disgrace to our nation, a disgrace to our world, and a disgrace to your wife. I don't know how she sleeps with you when you walk around looking like you do, and she's not even that bad looking. Maybe she should call me, honestly. But look at these suits. This is what you wear to work, John. This is what you need to do so that you can actually bring some respect to the state of Pennsylvania, state that I'm a resident of.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
What's going on, everybody? Wired here, back once again, and we're going to talk about an issue that is very near and dear to my heart for all you Pennsylvanians out there. The fact that John Fetterman is representing the great state of Pennsylvania, and his intellect is not representative of the collective of Pennsylvania. Now, I know a lot of people are going to call me bigoted or ableist and stuff like that, and that's totally fine. I don't really see it that way. I see it that John Fetterman is possibly, maybe, probably, definitely is not up to the task of being a senator. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And for me, being a little more right-leaning, I don't think there's anything wrong with it at all. I think actually the left-leaning people who are trying to put him into a position of power, even though he probably should be focused on his mental recovery, is actually a bit wrong. What we're going to talk about today is the dress code, which has once again come up and it's been bended. The rules have been completely changed for Mr. John Fetterman because he apparently cannot button a shirt. He cannot put on a blazer. He cannot tie a tie. He doesn't want to put on any wingtips. And so he can just be a complete slob when he goes into Congress. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and I might be wrong. I haven't had a job since like 2020, but I was in a manufacturing plant. And for that plant where I had to work, we did have a dress code where we had to actually have a button-up shirt, pants, boots, regulated. Normally, jobs regulate that type of stuff. We were working in lead especially, but even still, even if you're not, a lot of jobs have dress codes, which John Fetterman doesn't want to have to adhere to. Which I definitely understand that, because I gotta say, I hated wearing glasses and not being able to wear my contacts, because I'm a little vain when it comes to my eyes. I love wearing my contacts. I hate wearing my glasses. So I completely get that. But when you're in the Senate, maybe you should adhere to the rules, but apparently you don't have to anymore. And we're going to hear straight from Mr. John Fetterman's mouth about how he's suffered and he's had a lot of problems. And although I'm going to agree with, I don't want to be ableist. I don't, disparage any of having problems. I'm going to also just pose the question, maybe you shouldn't be in the Senate if you might have cognitive issues. But let's take a look.
He's 6'8", weighs about 270, and walks around the Senate halls with a hoodie and shorts on, and he isn't a tourist. Democratic Senator John Fetterman of Pennsylvania, whose choice of attire has forced him to vote from the doorways rather than on the Senate floor under the Senate's previous unwritten dress code, today was seen proudly wearing those casuals while presiding over the Senate.
The senator from Texas.
Now that Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has relaxed the dress code. Almost every Republican senator has signed a letter spearheaded by Florida Senator Rick Scott calling on Schumer to keep enforcing the code.
This has got to change back. We've got to have decorum. We've got to dress the way the American public would expect their U.S. senators to dress.
Republican Senator Chuck Grassley saying it stinks. Senator John Kennedy saying,
I don't like it.
And Republican Senator Susan Collins joking, quote, I plan to wear a bikini tomorrow to the Senate floor. Some Democrats seem reluctant to criticize the change.
Do you think it should be changed?
No, I did not. But so what?
So what?
I just think there's a whole lot more important things for us to worry about. So I'm fine, you know, as long as people cover all the private parts.
I think you can have respect for the institution without a formal dress code, so long as individual members take personal responsibility for upholding decorum.
But Republicans are pressing, even on the House side.
But you're going to change all of the Senate rules simply so someone could wear gym clothes onto the floor? I mean, that's embarrassing.
Fetterman today firing back, saying, quote, if those jagovs in the House stop trying to shut our government down and fully support Ukraine, then I will save democracy by wearing a suit on the Senate floor next week. And telling MSNBC on Monday,
The right have been like losing their mind. You know, they're just like, oh my God, aren't there more important things we should be talking about rather than if I dress like a slob?
while some senators like Kyrsten Sinema often dress with flair, the Senate has expected business attire for centuries, with men understood to wear a suit and tie and women covering their arms. A senator without a tie would immediately leave the floor and fix the mistake. And Ronald Reagan famously would rarely set foot in the Oval Office without a coat and tie. One analyst says decorum has its place, but right now,
we're heading headlong into what may be a sustained government shutdown. This is a distraction. This is a tempest in a hoodie.
Now, even Senator Fetterman says he's not sure if he'll always take advantage of the new rules. Fetterman was recently quoted as saying it's nice to have the option, but that he's planning on using the new dress code sparingly and not overusing it.
So exactly, you heard it here first, folks. This is not a big deal. We should just completely throw out the Senate dress code. And it's not a big deal to any of these Democrat politicians, not to Big Chief Warren, or not to Biden, Kamala, anything like that. You know, I guess you should just walk in there naked. Or I guess Elizabeth Warren has a problem with that. But you know, there's no decorum anymore. There's no decency. There's no, I can't get on a blazer, a suit, a button-up shirt, and a tie. I can't present myself like that because that's too much work. And once again, I'm going to say, as a Pennsylvanian, I probably am a little more critical than John Fetterman than most of the country, or at least I hope I would be, because he's making my state be a complete laughingstock. Just wear a suit and a tie. It's not that hard. I can put one on in 2-3 minutes. And I'm not trying to be ableist here, and I'm not trying to be bigoted. But if you cannot dress yourself, you should probably not be representing the United States of America. And I know that's going to offend a lot of people, and I'm already demonetized off YouTube, so I have no fear of that. But I'm still going to speak what I want to speak, and just get a button shirt, man. You know, have your wife do it for you. Or your kids, or somebody. Have somebody within your cabinet do it. I'm sure there is an aide who is willing to help you through this very difficult process. It's just an embarrassment for the state of Pennsylvania. It really is. It makes us look like rubes and like fools. And I don't want to think of myself and my state like that, because I think there's a lot of really good, sensible people who live in Pennsylvania. I really do believe that, at least in the town that I live in. Anyway, I'm just a country bumpkin, and that's all I got. Leave a like on the video if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you for listening this long, and I will catch you all in the next one. Later.